Good evening, everyone. We are reading passages from Being Attention by Fran Shaw. We're on page 24. The natural force of consciousness can work its process in me. I don't have to, quote unquote, do anything. Just recognize. I don't have to do anything, just recognize. It is a relief not to have to do anything. The body relaxes. From just above the head, a fine material comes in with breathing and circulates through the whole body. I am. I am. Recognize what is there, this life energy coming into me. It is always given, but not received. We are occupied. The line is busy. Once I have a taste of this life force through me and all around me, I am responsible to pay attention to that. So the natural force of consciousness, this natural force of consciousness can work its process in us. Right? It's a natural force. It's here. It's available. It can work its process in us, and we don't have to do anything, just to recognize it. Recognize that it's here and allow it to do its process in us. It's a relief not to have to do anything, right? No efforting from the mind, from thought. The body can relax, knowing there's no efforting needed. From just above the head, a fine material comes in with breathing. This is the energy, this is prana, chi, the light. It is here, it's accessible, and it comes in with breathing. And it circulates through the whole body, this fine energy. I am comes through this acknowledgement. I am. Just connected with Nisargadatta and I Am That book. He always says that is the mantra, I am. Many times he says, I am here. But really, the deepest, most clear truth is I am. It's the only one thing you can know for certain, is that you are. With that recognition, that pure recognition of I am, this fine material comes in with the breathing. We recognize what is here, this life energy, this chi, prana, spiritual light. We recognize it coming into us. It is always given, but not received. It is always given, but it's not always received. Just like we said, God's love is unconditional, eternally showering, raining down upon us. It's forever given, but it's not always received. Why? We are occupied. We're occupied with thoughts, occupied with desires. The line is busy. Love that. The line is busy. We can't receive the transmission because the line is busy. We're occupied with thoughts, desires, all sorts of emotions. We're occupied with the pursuits of the ego, and on and on. once I have a taste of this life force, once we have a taste of this chi, prana, life force, spiritual light, divine energy, once we have a taste of it running through us, all around us, we become responsible to pay attention to it. Right? Once you have experienced the light, there then is a new responsibility to pay attention to it. Let's continue reading. The silence in you, in me, recognizing it, attending to it. The silence in you, in me, recognizing it, attending to it, without criticism, without judgment of myself, of others, can receive impressions, very rich, is food. I have a habit of speaking from ordinary mind, analyzing what happened earlier. But the important thing, what comes first, is being present now. Then let words come. There is great misunderstanding in the work. Ideas, analysis. This is not work. Not for 1 second. Work begins at the limit, when I can stay. We abandon before the limit, but now, just to be seen. And we'll go over that. The silence in you and me, recognizing it, attending to it. The silence. Silence is such a key, core factor in the spiritual work. If you take a moment to observe, how often do you sit in silence? Not the silence of what's going on externally, but the silence inside your mind. How often do you sit with a silent mind, not clamoring with thoughts, useful or random? Just take a moment to observe for yourself. How often do you sit with a quiet mind? The silence in you and in me, we need to recognize it. We need to attend to it. Attend to that silence. Right, the line before, once I have a taste of this life force through and all around me, I am responsible to pay attention to that. The silence in you and in me, the silence in us, we need to recognize it and attend to it. Without criticism, without judgment of self, of myself, of others, without that critical mind, that judgmental mind, those thoughts that criticize and judge, letting that go, we can begin to receive impressions. Impressions is a very important part of the Gurdjieff work. Impressions are food, right? It says the next line, very rich is food. Impressions means to receive impressions with the senses, the sensation of the cool air coming in through the nostrils, the sensation, the impression of hearing the HRV in its hum, the impression of colors, of sight, expanding the horizon of the eyes, of seeing, the impression of speaking, the vibration in the throat and out the mouth, impression of hearing words, impressions of feeling the sensation of sitting on a chair, on the bottom, on your back, sensation of your feet on the floor, These are all impressions that the body can take in. The more we silence the mind, the more we give attention to that silence, the more we can receive impressions. These impressions are food. They're food for consciousness. They're food for presence, becoming more present in the moment, present to the magic and the wonder and the mystery of this moment, this present moment. Present moment is divine. For where are we? If you are here, if you're in that I am and you are here, then you're in the mystery. For where is here? Here is a mystery. Here is wonder. I have a habit of speaking from the ordinary mind, analyzing what happened earlier. This is all of our habits. We have these habits to speak from ordinary mind, analyzing conversations we had, analyzing events that took place earlier in the day. But the important thing, what comes first, is being present now, this very present moment right now. Then let words come. Right? We are forward with thoughts and words, rest back into the present moment, and then let words come from there. There is a great misunderstanding in the work, the Gurdjieff work. When it says the work, it means the Gurdjieff work. Ideas analysis, this is not work. Ideas and analyzing, this is not work, not for 1 second. Work begins at the limit, when I can stay. That place of transition between the movement of the mind, the lack of presence, and the moment of quieting the mind, receiving impressions, entering the present moment. This is where the work begins, not in thoughts and analyzing ideas, in actually entering presence and engaging with attention to the sensations, to the impressions. That limit we abandon before we get to that limit. But now, just to be seen as we are, just to be seen in this movement and being here and staying with it once we hit that limit, that edge. The secret the devil told the seeker. Your passivity is your greatest reminder. When I see it, accept it. The yes, the quote unquote yes will appear. Awareness will appear. The yes and the no, two forces, are inseparable. Seeing an ordinary mind. There is no problem with ordinary mind except that it cannot work. The greatest help of all is our passivity, because it is a reminder, a shock, when I see that I have been asleep. It is the call to wake up, to see the reality of what is, to see the truth. Every stick has two ends, the yes and the no are forces that go together. No force is alone. Cannot prefer one over another like a child. Quote, which do you prefer, your mother or your father? End quote. Necessary to have both forces. The higher consciousness is always there, ready, waiting to come down, but it is blocked. The space is always occupied by beliefs, thoughts. Just be seen, pure seeing, not the ordinary mind, quote, sense this, sense that, directing, but being seen, staying present, receiving these impressions of myself, whatever it is. If I could be an empty space, not full of thoughts, feelings, the goodness would rush in. So the secret the devil told the seeker, your passivity is your greatest reminder. Your passivity, when you sit in a passive state, when you sit in sleep and unconsciousness, it is the greatest reminder. I see it and I accept it. When I see the passivity, when I see it as what it is and I accept it as what it is, then the yes will appear. The yes is the active force, and awareness will appear. Then awareness can come in when we self-observe, when we observe ourselves in a state of sleep and passivity, in unconsciousness, and we accept it as it is, then we're already seeing, and this seeing allows awareness to appear. The yes and the no, two forces, they're inseparable. The active and the passive, the affirming and the denying forces, they're inseparable. Seeing, the active force of seeing, and ordinary mind, passivity, the passive mind, passive to consciousness and presence. There is no problem with the ordinary mind, except that it cannot work. It cannot work. It cannot do the work. It cannot work to get us to awareness, to presence. Can't get to presence with the mind. It's the opposite of presence. The greatest help of all is our passivity. Why? Because it is a reminder. It's a shock when I see that I have been asleep. It's a shock when you see it. When you see it, there's a shock that takes place. The shock is the seeing it, is the recognition of sleep, of passivity. And it is a call to wake up, to see the reality of what is, sleep and wakefulness, to see the truth of I am, the truth of what is happening here, the truth of the sacred and mysterious, the wonder of every moment. Every stick has two ends. The yes and the no are forces that go together, the active and the passive. No force is alone. No force comes without its opposing force. Cannot prefer one over the other, like a child. Which do you prefer, mother or father? It's necessary to have both forces. You can't just choose one of these forces. You have to recognize that it's necessary that each force comes with its opposing force. The higher consciousness is always there. It's always here. Just like we said, God is always here. God's love is always here. Ready and waiting to come down. Ready and waiting for us to open our hearts and turn towards it. But it is blocked. It is blocked. The space is always occupied. The space, the vessel to receive the light is always occupied. Occupied with beliefs and thoughts. Beliefs that are expressions expressed through thoughts. They're the same material. Beliefs, thoughts. Thoughts, beliefs are made up of thoughts, and they occupy the space, they fill the vessel, and they block the capacity to receive the light in silence, the light in being, the light of presence. Just be seen, pure seeing, seeing, seeing as things truly are, seeing with clear eyes, seeing without thought, seeing pure seeing, seeing things as they are. Another question, another inquiry, another practice of inquiry is asking the question. Ramana Maharshi would say one of the inquiry questions is, who is seeing what is seen? Who is seeing what is seen? You can just ask yourself that. Contemplating. Who is seeing what I am seeing? What is being seen? Seeing is happening. Pure seeing without attachment to the ego, the identity, without attachment to thoughts, is seeing purely. Not the ordinary mind, sense this, sense that, directing the mind, co-opting, seeing, but being seen, staying present, being seen as we are, like a witness, this witness consciousness that is seeing us in this moment, receiving these impressions of myself through the witness, receiving the impressions of myself, whatever it is in the moment. If I could be an empty space, right? If I could be an empty vessel, not full of thoughts and feelings, emotions, the goodness would rush in. The light of God would rush in. The divine energy, the love of God would rush in. That's what we're here to be, to do, to be the silence, to be the empty vessel, not to do anything, just to be the empty vessel and allow the love, allow the light to flow in. Sending you much love. Have a wonderful night.